Hey, Katie and Cameron. This is Grant. Just wanted to touch base on a few more specifics in regards to the proposal that I'm shooting you over today. Um, Thanks for meeting with me last Saturday, and thanks for being patient in getting this. This week was a whirlwind, really starting to crank up again for all the fall projects. Um, anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the design a little bit as far as just overall design scope, as well as some specific costs and some of the items that we spoke about. So for the front of the house, my thinking, so in this area in the front of the house where you have all those overgrown hollies, my thinking, I kind of thought about this again and I rethought that area, and rather than excavating all the stumps, perhaps a smarter idea is to have the tree company cut those hollies out, so cut those down to the ground, throw those in the chipper, which is more cost effective than having to haul them away in a truck, and then grind them down with a stump grinder. And this is the thought if you decide that you just want to add lawn up to the walkway for now. The concept with doing that is then you don't have to excavate the stumps, which would disturb the front walkway, because if you pull out those stumps, you're going to pull out the whole front walkway and have to redo that as well. So I think it's much more efficient as far as cost if you do the alternative method, which is just cut them down, remove them, and then grind the stumps, and then just add lawn for now. All right, so I think that would be a wise move for the front of the house. And you'll notice I put that in the proposal here as well, which I'm going to send to you. Then these 3 trees come down. So there's 2 big trees here, and there's one huge cedar tree here. Those trees come down. The tree company also grinds those stumps. We have to be specific with the tree company to make sure they grind them down deep enough, because we also might cut the grade a little bit. The soil is somewhat humped up in this area and in this area, so perhaps before the tree company does the work, be smart for me to meet with them again and go over the details as far as stump grinding. So this way there's no miscommunication. The tree company that gave me the quote, which I included within your proposal, is a tree company that we use almost every week. So we've got good leverage with them, I guess you could say, and this way we could control the project, so there's no follow-ups, no mess-ups. Okay, so anyways, once these trees are removed, then there's obviously landscaping that would go in between the front walkway and the front foundation of your house. There's probably going to be some landscaping in this area, and probably some more landscaping in this area, but then there would be more extension of lawn as well, so making the lawn bigger. So that I left as in the proposal here as a zero cost item, because that's going to be based on a landscape design. But I do have in the bottom of this proposal a list of all the tree removal costs. Okay, so that's the front of the house. For the rear of the house, there's all of the trees that are starting on this front corner, this back corner of the house right here, that back right corner of the house, all the way through here, all the way through here. It's going to coordinate with the video that I had sent the tree company, which I'm also going to attach to the email when I send this. Okay, so all those trees come out, grind all the stumps, and then there's a bunch of pachysandria and ground cover and other small plants, and we would have to use our excavator to rip those all out. All right, so this way you can expand the lawn, and then I would suggest putting screening trees along this edge back here. That's the corner of your garage right here, which is about 63 feet over to this fence, and then it was 95 feet from here to the back corner. And that's what I've quoted you, and I gave you firm prices on that within the quote. So there are some items that I've given you some actual prices for, because they're independent from doing a landscape design, and those of what I've quoted you'll notice on this proposal. And I gave you various options with different sizes for trees as well, just so you can get a sense of value on what perhaps what tree size you might want to go with. Now the emerald greens, I was considering using these over here, which would match these emerald greens over here. You already have these on your property. Those are the ones we looked at together. The reason I suggest those is because it's a narrow area. We want to maintain as much lawn space as possible, so that's why I suggest emerald greens along this edge. Over here, I think you have more space, so you could go green giants. All right, and also they'll do better in the partial sunlight. You don't have as much sunlight over here because of these other trees behind your fence. So I think it's a more appropriate tree for this area in the back. Okay, so that's what I've listed here in your quote. Let's see here. And then outside of that, there's going to be all the landscaping between the patio and the house here, stretching through here, along the fence line in here, perhaps both sides of the fence. So you'll notice I put a budget in here for that, somewhere between $5,000 and $9,000, and that's going to be based on the design. But the great thing about the design is we can revise it as much as needed to reach the end result that you want, both cost and as well as aesthetics. So you do have control over that in the design phase. All right. Then there's patio repair. So that I think we would have to meet one more time, go over it, understand exactly what we're doing as far as repair. So for right now, I just gave you an hourly cost associated with that. Okay. Beyond that, we do outdoor lighting, which is the low voltage lighting, and we also do the lawn irrigation systems in-house. So that's also going to have to wait to be quoted until after you do a design. And then there's the lawn renovation itself, so adding all the topsoil and the seed around the property, getting the lawn in shape, expanding the lawn, that's all going to be part of the actual specific quote that you would get with the landscape design. All right. And then furthermore, we also do the maintenance for the whole property as well. And usually we can build that trust during the construction phase and then give you a quote for that when we're done. The stuff that we wouldn't do would be the tree removal and the stump grinding. But like I said, we have a company we use all the time. And the same thing with any fence installation or repair, we could also link you up with a company that we always use. Okay. So this document you're going to get, which is kind of gives you a ballpark idea of costs. All right, give you some specific costs, but a lot of it is unknown until you do a design. All right, so the first step on this is doing a design. Then you're going to be able to fine-tune that design to meet what you want. Okay, and this is, I'm going to send you a design proposal, which is what this is here. All right, basically we're